With the Young Thug Rico trial now on break, a viral tweet was released by a lawyer sharing, "The Young Thug YSL Rico trial still on break. Expect Young Thug's lawyers to push for a mistrial this week. The prosecutors have provided little to zero evidence thus far, and it seems as if they need more time." As this would go on to make Lil Baby react, sharing that this is practically all Gunna's fault that Thug's even in this mess. As in Lil Baby's new song 350 released this week, he states in the lyrics, "Ain't nothing to say about it, boy you know you a rat," which has gone viral on social media. So viral that Young Thug's father would hop on an interview this week defending Gunna and telling Lil Baby to stay quiet.
How do you feel about Lil Baby throwing at Gunna for his plea deal?
He need to shut the fuck up, cause he don't know what's going on. You know, he's going off of what he heard. Ask Lil Baby, have he ever came to a court date?
Oh, okay.
See, that's what I want y'all to ask these damn rappers and these bloggers with this whole snitch shit and this. When have y'all went to a court date to support Slime, to support Jeffrey, to support Thug, however you want to name him? Go on their social media pages and say, why in the haven't you been at the courthouse to support your dude? And I guarantee you won't get an answer.
According to Young Thug's father, Gunna isn't actually the main reason why Young Thug is in the situation that he's in, and that allegedly Gunna never even snitched.
Courtney said, how do you feel about Gunna?
I love Gunna.
See, that's the thing. People don't understand the relationship. They got this thing saying that Gunna's a rat and he's done this and done that.
But see, let me try to help the attorney clarify that a little simpler.
Okay.
Gunna hasn't done anything whatsoever that can hurt us on this case. Period.
As apparently, if you truly listen in to when Gunna was allegedly snitching, he was apparently making a plea deal on something outside of the Rico case that Young Thug is still involved in.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in Berkeley.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped a vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
However, Young Thug's father would then break down how his son Young Thug will be released and when, as it all stems down to the jury members and the prosecutors. As Young Thug's lawyers are pushing for a mistrial after it would be officially reported, a juror has been dismissed in the Young Thug YSL Rico trial and is being replaced with an alternate after being in the hospital over the weekend.
I'm in receipt of the admission form. And as of current, she is still in the hospital. Her anticipated release date potentially is this coming Wednesday. So, much as I like to wait till Wednesday, I'm going to probably have to go ahead and excuse her due to illness. So, does anybody wish to be heard about that issue?
Your Honor, before we do that, can I just figure out who 269 is?
All right, and I'll let you take a look at I'm going to mark this as the next court exhibit in order, as well as I'm going to seal it for purposes of juror confidentiality.
With that juror being excused, it would only be 3 days later to when another juror would have to be excused. As DJ Akademiks would report, members of the jury were shown on live stream, and people believe this is why the judge called the attorneys to his chambers for a potential mistrial, where we would then see No Jumper report. Fans are already identifying jury members on Young Thug's trial after the courtroom camera accidentally revealed their faces. As a commenter would state, "I know that guy with the glasses on, that's Dante Wilson. reason he is on the jury. Dante Wilson would then have to be excused from the Young Thug trial due to safety concerns. Having 2 jury members dismissed in only 1 week is starting to make a lot of people worried, as when you add those reasons as well as the report of Young Thug's Rico trial is now on recess until January 2nd, 2024, his co-defendant Shannon Stillwell was targeted inside a jail, it really makes you wonder, is the Young Thug YSL Rico trial about to be canceled?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and tell you where we are. Remember yesterday we recessed because one of our participants has had a medical issue, and I was telling you about that. Well, unfortunately, that medical condition still exists, and given the length of time that we're going to have to probably address that, it might be just more prudent to recess you and give you an early recess instead of recessing you this Friday, as the court's plan was originally. I'm going to recess you for the holidays today. Okay? So I know you look very disappointed. I can tell from all of you 17 as a group. It's not that bad. Okay, so
as right after the judge was done saying the Young Thug Rico trial will be on recess until further notice, Young Thug would be seen inside a court saying "I love you" to his girlfriend Mariah, as this is his way of showing appreciation for what she would say recently on a podcast.
Do you think that marriage is the next step for you, Young Thug?
I mean, when he gets out of jail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either of us want a jail wedding. Yeah, but I feel like he definitely wants to be married, and I feel like I do too.
Do you ever imagine life outside once he's out?
For sure. We talk about it all day. Okay. All day long. I mean, I feel like being imaginative can help every human being on earth not lose your mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, it is like a little slight state of delusion.
As the mistrial potential has risen a lot in the last week, and it's all due to the prosecutors that are against Young Thug. As on the final day of trial, the judge even had to ask the prosecutors to stay out of his business.
is there anything else at this point in time?
Your Honor, did your number 39?
Yo, would you stay out of my business, Miss Love?
Oh, well.
Stay out of my business.
Judge,
I'm
sorry.
I've been doing this a long time. Yes, I have, yes. And if you really must know, she's going to reschedule her appointment to the week of the King holiday. You happy? No, you're not happy. But anyways, that's the explanation you're going to get. I'm on top of it. Okay. All right. Yes, Mr. Sharp.
As this isn't even the first time the judge had to yell at the prosecutors, making them seem very unprofessional. The first argument they had was when it was announced, Judge in the Young Thug trial isn't happy with the state because they never turned in all of the slides they planned on using in their opening statement.
Is there anything else you're going to use in opening you haven't shown to defense counsel? He's telling us. Well, I said that. I told you to do that a week ago. Because here's what I told you was going to happen. I've got a jury that's out right now that's being interrupted. And Mr. Williams, you should have made your motion or should have told me about that an hour ago or when you found out about it. Not hijack me at the bench about that. You did what you had to do, but I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about any of this. Because this is stuff we could take care of before our jury comes in. And that makes you all, lessen your ability as advocates and lessen our ability for this jury to go ahead and get this case seamlessly. This is what I told you all was going to happen. So,
as even the judge stated in the start of that clip, he already told the prosecutors to be ready, have all of their slides and evidence ready for opening day, and they didn't do it.
Your Honor, we would ask because we would ask that all of this be reserved for the 16th because this all came up in September. You said you allowed us to.
I am really annoyed about this, Ms. Hilton. I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like to
exclude a lot more on that date because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice that we just kind of keep, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
As these prosecutors are extremely unprofessional at their job. Many people don't even think they even know what they're doing, as the trial is stressing out the judge so much to the point where the judge had to announce inside of the courtroom that he needs a service dog to help him calm down during the proceedings.
Here behind me is this bell that starts jingling, all right? And if you hear a jingling sound like a bell, please don't think that I'm doing anything creepy up here, all right? I have a service dog behind me. His name is Jack. I think some of you may have seen him already. He lives the best life ever. He's pampered. He's really, and he is a Labrador Retriever. He's about almost 2.5, 3 years old at this point in time. So, but if you hear that bell, that's him moving around, all right? He doesn't bark. He rarely gets interested in what's going on, so he might come up here and look, but that's about it. All right? Don't bring him any food either, okay? All right? He is spoiled rotten. So please don't try and throw any food back here behind me or anything like that. He doesn't need anything else, okay? But if you hear that bell, hear that sound.
As funny enough, right when the judge was done announcing he needs a service dog, the prosecutors would then bring their first witness to the stand, where the prosecutor would have an extremely hard time asking a simple question to their own witness that they brought onto the stand.
As it relates to a musical artist's words, is there any crime in saying words?
There are certainly potentially crimes in spoken words.
All right. Now, I'm not talking about crimes being described in words. I'm speaking of, is there a crime to speak the words?
As a generality, no. Outside of...
Your Honor, that
yes.
was the answer to the question. And
so it's non-responsive, is that what you're saying? Okay, I sustain this as non-responsive.
Have you ever sought to arrest anyone for speaking words in a song?
No, ma'am.